Afternoon all, hope you're well. Been pretty busy last kind of week actually. I don't know when the last time I was uploaded. Yeah, quite a few stuff on. Got my Jag the other day. Got my Jag on Tuesday, was it? And that kind of shot my arm out, to be honest. No other symptoms from the Jags, no other side effects of that. Just a pretty sore arm, which meant that I couldn't really lift it high, so I couldn't really operate in the workshop with that. So just gonna take it easy. But got this in the other day. New bandsaw. Really good bit of kit. It's a German brand, Schepak. Although I think with a lot of these kind of bandsaws and equipment, it's really just made by one brand and it's rebadged, because you can look at this online, you can probably find 4 or 5 other makes of bandsaws with a different name, maybe a different colour, but it looks the exact same. It's a 250 watt induction motor. I've changed the blade. This is now I think it's a 9mm 6 TPI blade. There's a 6 TPI blade on it before, but the blade that wasn't as thin, whereas I know like for cutting briar and other hardwoods that I use, it's definitely ideal to up the blade quality. Starting to fine tune some bits. I've just finished fine tuning the blade angle. It's a perfect right angle. Don't know if I've got the protractor to hand. Perfect. A little line blade. Just need to realign some of the ball bearings. See the belt drive in there. The blade seems to be nicely well centered just now. I do need to adjust these little bearings inside and make sure the alignment's correct. It isn't this one. I think I need to realign the bottom one, which is underneath the table. But yeah, so far I've done a few test cuts and it's looking really good. Nice straight bit cut there. That's briar. I actually opened up before. The grain on that block looked pretty poor, but opened up some nice grain there. But yeah, so just go quick one. Do a bit of kit. Happy with this. Been wanting to get a bandsaw for a while. Up until now I've been cutting everything by hand. It's been pretty big pain. I mean, if you're cutting briar by hand, because it's a hardwood, you need some good force in it, and you never get perfectly straight lines cutting. Some of the other hardwoods that I use, cutting by hand, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. So this bandsaw should come in really well. Really happy with it. Just been to my local Screwfix. For anyone not in the UK, that's kind of like a what you call it, like a builder's department kind of store. Do all your nuts, bolts, accessories, hand tools. I don't think they actually sell like wood and raw materials, but they just sell all your tools, bits and bobs in it. So just picked up some bolts to attach this to the workbench. 4 bolts either side. This isn't going to be the permanent place. Some of you may know I'm in the market for a lathe, and the lathe will go kind of, you've got, I think my sand is absolutely smashed just now. You'll see most of my videos are shot there. I kind of rolled this mat out to kind of smoke and chill out there, but normally that's like a kind of hand finishing sanding workstation. But the lathe will go here. Kind of, I've measured it out when I built this worktop, that the lathe will go from there to about there, and then go to this side again. Please excuse the mess. There's going to be a plywood sheet that will run from that wall to that wall, and I'm going to have two sections. I'm going to have a sanding section here for dedicated sanding and a bit of staining and finishing, and then this corner here will have the dedicated bandsaw area. Yeah, like I try and keep my storage organised, but got a bit of a mess just here. Actually, I've got to show you some of the briar I got in the absolute monster blocks. It's a hefty block. There's one with the grain birds out there. Bird's eye is really nice and tight. It's a good looking block. Yeah, still a lot of work in the workshop. You can see that's a little radiator, wall mounted electric, that needs to go on the wall. Haven't decided where to put that. Currently I use a freestanding oil radiator, which I'm hoping to again replace that with the electric one just on there at some point. Hopefully, again, if I'm going to get the plywood in there, big plywood sheet, build kind of a secondary workbench to house it. As you can see, it's my kind of a bit of a weird workbench. This is actually extra of a kitchen countertop. When the kitchen was done a few years back, the kitchen fitters for some reason ordered pretty much double the worktop which was required. So this was actually about an extra 2 foot long, but I've trimmed it down to a perfect size because I know the exact lathe I'm getting. I've worked out it will fit nicely in that section, and it gives me a little section at the end. But yeah, so I kind of just made do with this because at the end of the day, if I've got it's nice and thick. It's maybe about a 2 inch thick, so it's a good quality, nice and thick worktop. I thought instead of throwing it away and spending an extra, I think for the plywood sheet which is going to go there, just now it's like, I think the wood price for that is about £35. But for a main workbench, I'd want one which was slightly thicker, so I think it goes up to £42. So to save myself £42, I thought, well, there's no reason to not go for this. So that's what I've done. Yeah, so still a lot to do in the workshop, a lot of kit to get. Nowhere near done, but it's come along pretty well. So I need to get to bottom this down, and I need to start cutting up some wood. Hope you all enjoyed that kind of an in-look to the workshop. Although it's small, it should improve a lot over the coming weeks. Like I said, getting that bit of plywood there in the coming weeks, building dedicated stations, and I'm hoping to potentially get the lathe kind of end of this month, start of July if I can. Like I say, I know the exact lathe I'm getting, so there isn't a problem with having to research. I know all the parts, bits and bobs I'm getting, so it should be good. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next one.